Hey y'all, Chris here with Rockin Farm. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, click that notification bell, and go check out our website, rockin8farm.com. So we're on the other side of all that nasty weather to hit Texas, and once again, I just want to remind people, I know there are people out there that deal with that weather 6 months of the year, every single year. It's just so uncommon for Texas that we just weren't fully prepared for it. But here at our house, here on our farm, the preps held up really well. All of the animals survived it. Everybody had water and feed the whole time. It was a lot of extra work, but everybody's happy, everybody's healthy. The only major problem that we ran into here is that we did go several days without water. It was due to a water shutdown at the city source, followed by a discovered broken pipe, which I was able to make some repairs to. So we have water back to the house now. The laundry room, which was fed by the broken portion of the pipe, that's been capped off. So I've got to run a hose to wash clothes. But all in all, we came out of this relatively unscathed. I'm very happy to announce that. The one thing that we have to do now is go check on the garden, and I'm a little nervous about it. You're going to see what I did in order to try and protect the garden, and then you're going to see in real time, just as I do, what kind of shape the garden is in. I want to warn everybody in advance, it is an unbelievably windy day, but this is a project that I have to get taken care of now, and I want to take you along with me, so I apologize for the wind noise. Now, as you can see behind me, this is what we did to try and protect our gardens. A lot of people don't realize it, but snow and ice actually make really good insulators. We laid down the hay before the snow came, and I'm really hoping that the plants that are underneath the hay are going to have survived just fine. My two primary concerns are my onions and my garlic. Everything else I got a really good yield out of while they were part of our fall and winter crops. If they're gone, it stinks, but it's not the end of the world. With the onions, it's a little late, but I still have time to replant. They will just basically be a month behind because we typically plant onions here in January, and these would be getting in the ground basically first week of March. But I can probably still get an onion yield. My garlic, I'm worried about, because if my garlic is gone, we just don't have any garlic. I may be able to get some greens out of it, maybe a few cloves here and there survived, but if the major portion of our garlic crop got severely damaged, we'll be planting garlic again in October and just won't have any for now. All right, y'all, here goes nothing. Let's see if I've got garlic under here. I'll tell you what, y'all, they are definitely not happy plants. 10 days in a row of sub-freezing weather and never getting above freezing did some damage, but I think if we can get some sun and some water to these, they're not in horrible shape. I mean, they still have leaves in them that are standing up on their own. This is the elephant garlic bed. So what we're going to do is get this hay off of there so they can get some sunshine, and then we're going to get this bed watered in real nice, because sub-freezing temperatures really tend to dry out the soil. So let's get some water to these and see how they do over the next couple of weeks. But I'm not totally discouraged here, because if you look, that's still very green and very alive, even though all of this is obviously not in good shape. Well, it looks like we're going to be watering by hand today. The rest of the garden all looks amazing. For some reason, one valve broke. I'm not really 100% sure. The only thing I can really think of is that maybe this was damaged from a previous freeze when I was dumb and didn't drain the system. The system was drained of water, so I really can't explain why this valve broke, but we're gonna have to make some repairs before I can water anything else. So we did have a few asparagus spears that were kind of poking up out of the ground before the big freeze. As you can see, those did not fare too well at all. But I mean, it's early. We were really shocked when we saw these little guys starting to come up, and it was because right before we hit this big freeze, it was, high 70s, low 80s. So these guys thought it was springtime. Now these ones realize it didn't, but the vast majority are still nestled very firmly below the ground. And you can see now that it's warming up, that is a brand new healthy spear starting to come up that doesn't have to worry about 18-degree temperatures and, you know, -6 wind chills having any horrible effect on it. We had some peas that we planted right at the end of January, and it looks like these guys not only survived the really low temperatures, but they actually grew considerably. So the peas we planted, good to go. Brussels sprouts are looking like they couldn't be happier. I mean, that's a happy plant right there, y'all. Broccoli, not so much. But y'all, we had some garlic in this broccoli bed, and I'll tell you what, it actually looks awesome. I'm gonna go check my other garlic bed right now. You know what, y'all, not bad at all. This was my major concern, was if I lost the garlic. And you know, as you can see, it's got some damage, but that is nothing that it can't survive from. And this bed here was full of happy, healthy, vibrant onions a couple of weeks ago. So let's see what we got here. We've got healthy onions. Maybe a few took some damage, but I'm not seeing any softness or major freeze damage. I'm not seeing any translucence down close to the bulbs. Y'all, I'm gonna have to say, all in all, we fared fairly well. You know, like I said, just not weather that we're used to in this particular area, but we did everything that we could think of to do to prep and make sure that we saved, you know, the investments that we'd made. I mean, I've got $200 worth of garlic planted in this garden, y'all. If I would have lost that, not only do I not have any garlic for the year, not only can I not plant until October, but I'm out the $200 investment. It looks like the garlic did fine. The onions, I could have tried to get them in a little bit later than I like to plant onions, but you know, I mean, that was another $40, $50 investment. It looks like the onions made it just fine. Broccoli's toast, but you know what? We got some good broccoli off of the broccoli, and we learned a lot about growing broccoli. So all in all, I'm relatively happy with it. Looks like I've got one busted valve I need to fix. I happen to have several extra valves, so we'll get that knocked out and get the garden watering system back up and running. And it's time to get ready for spring now that all that's over, y'all. To all my friends from the north, thank you so much for taking your weather back. And because I love and care about y'all, I'm going to do my absolute best to keep my weather down here this summer. I don't want y'all to have to go through just the opposite of this. You know, 110 degrees with 50% humidity probably wouldn't feel real great if you're up along the Canadian border. I could complain, but it could have been so much worse, y'all. One broken valve, you know, and I have to run a hose to my washing machine. You know, other than that, we came out of this fairly unscathed. Our food preps held up. You know, we were able to get water boiled and set aside. It was a ton of extra work. I do not envy anybody who has to haul 5-gallon buckets of water all winter long. I really like my nice automated systems that I just have to drain, I don't know, 10 or 15 times during the winter because we're getting down to 32. Being in a position where everything was frozen solid and not even remotely thinking about unfreezing is not a situation that I want to deal with. And that's why I live in Texas and not Minnesota. I hope that the rest of my southern fans and followers that already had things in their garden, I hope that you were able to get some sort of a nice mulch down and keep things protected. You know, if not, just hurry, get some stuff in the ground right now. You know, it's not too late to get some of this early spring stuff in, so get it done now. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. I'd love to help you out with, you know, the utmost of the knowledge that I do have. And we're just really glad to have come out on the other side of this very unusual weather for our area. I hope everyone is doing well, and until I see y'all again, be happy and live healthy.